Ah, I'm muted. That would do it. Uh, uh, -3. That would do it. Oh. That would do it. Oh. Ooh, boy, am I. I'll mute that. Where is it? I'm coming through a bit not great right now, so. Open widget. What does that do? $4,500. I don't think I can change that mid thing. Files, settings, stream, or output, streaming. It is at 2,500. Oh, 4,500. Works for me. I don't know what I changed, but apparently it's supposed to help. Is my audio still funky? Is my audio still funky? Nope, sounds good to me. Alright. Hello. Oh, how are you? It's been a second. I was just... Yeah, okay, I know the stream's not doing great, but I did your setting thing. I didn't do anything, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Alright. I was just working on a animatic. And, for a thing I'm trying to do, I thought I'd just stream it. Why not? Here's what I have so far. There's no sound, by the way. I'll explain it after. Yeah, that is not the whatever Mona Lisa of speakers. And then here's part 2 so far. That's what I'm meant to do. Alrighty. So, first off, Elephant in the Room. It's extremely rough, but that's kind of the point. It's just an animatic. I can get to the meat of stuff when I get to it, but this is just supposed to be down and dirty reference. So you have let's see, find a color I haven't used. Blue. I'm using blue for everything. What am I talking about? I'll use yellow. Why not? Is that visible? It's not visible. I'll use green. All right. So you have this guy right here, and it's I'm gonna give him a little hat and whatnot. But this guy is the conductor of a train, and again, not easy to see, but you got some like things over here to show it's a train. You got a little, I don't know, what is it? It's like a lever for pulling a stick. I don't know, something. You pull it one way or the other. And he's driving the train car. He's looking this direction. That was not an arrow. He's looking that direction. And then he's working, and then it changes, and you have this shot of a door, and it's really dramatic, and that's not even centered. I don't know what I'm thinking. Can I do that right now? Just, boop. There we go. I'll have to change all the frames later, but it's not even centered. And then you have this shot of a door. It's very dramatic. It's looking up to show that the person is very powerful. It's very, very basic stuff, but when you're looking up at something, it shows that it's very powerful because it's looking down at you, as opposed to when you're looking down at something, it shows that it's very weak because you're looking down to it. Very, very simple, very basic, not. But it's supposed to also add some suspense in there and whatnot. Not receiving enough video maintain smooth streaming. Let's see what YouTube is saying about that. Such as viewers will experience buffering. Well, that sucks for you because I can't do anything about that. My task manager is not happy. So I'll just check that right now. See what, I'll open up task manager, see what it's at. A lot of people don't know this. They usually go to to open up task manager. They usually right click the menu bar. 100% CPU. That would probably explain it. They usually open up the menu bar and look at that a little. But if you can do Control Shift Escape. Anyway, very basic stuff. Just showing the door, being like, oh, what's it gonna be there, and then turn the onion skin off, and then bam, kicks it open, and you have this shot. So my thought process with this, I probably should have named my layers, but whatever. My thought process with this, you have Mr. Big Guy, and he's in the front, and that's why he's the tallest. Everyone else is shorter. And this is actually a 1, 2, 3, like one of those, when you have the award shows and they have the levels of the people. So you have number 1 is the highest, and then number 2 is slightly lower, and then number 3 is the smallest, and there's a difference between the two by that much right there. So that's what I was trying to do here. I was trying to show that this guy is the main guy. He's like the leader guy, so he's in the front and he's the biggest. Then you have this guy, and he you'll see in a second. Or you won't. Right, here it is. You see right here, he's got his it's hard to see because it's rough, but what he's got is his hand here, and over here is a shotgun, and then this is another hand. And he's got a little gun. And this guy is over here, and he's got another gun, and this one's, I actually changed it. This was supposed to just be like a regular pistol, because this is cooler. He's the cool guy. But in reality, this is like this weird futuristic gun thingy. It's like a meter and such, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And that's forms like this orb that shoots. It's literally just futuristic BS. It's anything, but we need something to stand up to the superhero. So you have spoilers alert. There's a superhero. It's gonna show up. So you have these guys, and they burst through the door. They kick it down. You also have, I think I'm going to switch these guys, because you have thick, buff dude with wide set shoulders, and then thin, scrawny dude. But they're supposed to be, each have, so thick, buff dude is obviously the muscle. He brings the brawn. He's like, Vi from Arcane has the punching. So I think I gotta switch their weapons. But this guy's nice and scrawny, but it's the classic. He's not the brains. This guy's the brains, but he's like the tech guy. And they bring him along, but he holds his own. He has a punching arm, but he's gonna have like. So how I see it happening is, you have him, and he's a lot more scrawny than everyone else, and so his jaw comes to more of a point than everyone. His brain's going to be a little bit bigger, just to try and emphasize things, but not to an unrealistic degree. He's got his nose and stuff around, and then he's probably going to have like this pair of goggles on his head. I'm not quite done with character designs, but everyone's going to have, all the bad guys, everyone's going to have like a distinguishing feature about them. So this guy's going to be the goggles, but then his eyes are going to be like young, and he's going to youthful face and passion and such. And he's going to, I'm trying to tell a story even with like the couple seconds that they're in the frame. And so this guy, young, youthful, passionate, you're like, well, why is he doing this crime stuff? Maybe I can add a bit of dirt. Maybe he's got a momentum of his father or something. Just like the bit of story for a side character. It's important. But he's the one. He's the tech guy. So he's probably gonna be holding the secret weapon, which again I switched him. And he's probably gonna be the shortest one. And then you got the big buff guy, and he's got the bronze. And I'm probably gonna give him some sort of like metal arm or something like that. Like Vi from Arcane's got the gloves. The winner, or Bucky from Captain America, has the metal arm because his whole thing is strength. Stuff like that. Just like a really big brawny hammer. And you see it slowly zooming out to try and show their size. And then it catches him off guard because they kick down the door. It catches him off guard, and he turns around and he goes, "Whoa!" and just gets absolutely shot. My point here is I try and not give him a chance to breathe. Try and turn around and just bam, shot immediately. It's supposed to be like a shock because you hang on this for a while. I'm gonna make that longer. I can do that right now. But you hang on this shot for a while, and then it's like, oh, what's this door? And then bam, open. You just get enough chance to see people get shot, immediately falls down. And it's not supposed to give you a chance to breathe. So he gets shot, and then he falls down. It's going to be like a trail of blood and whatnot. It's going to be pretty cool. And then you got this angle. And this angle is supposed to do a couple things, the purpose of this. First off, it's supposed to show scale of the room. And what I'm going to do with this, and I didn't do this in the animatic, I'm going to establish a couple things. First off, that they close the door to try and the purpose of that is to try and surprise Superhero Girl as she bursts through the door later. Because the door is open, then it's just nice and easy. So they have to close. I'm going to have a shot of them closing the door. I'm going to add that in later, but that has to be added in this stage. So I just haven't done it yet. I have to have a shot of them closing the door. It's very important because that sets the audience's expectations up. Next, it's supposed to show power dynamic. So you have this guy, and he's just casually scrolling on through, minding his own business. This guy's dead and bleeding. Everyone else is gonna be like standing here, feet. He's the biggest thing in the room. Also, it's a cool shot, but it also sets up this shot, which is gonna be difficult to animate. Yeah, that's a interesting picture. Also sets up this shot when it slowly goes down and then focuses on nothing but his face. And you can just see the feet of the people behind them. They're standing. They're going to probably have some personality in this way they're standing. And I think I'm going to actually I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Uh-oh, I know what I did. Anyway, I think I'm going to zoom this in way more when I actually do it. So it's just his face. But what we're supposed to do is zoom in on his face while you have a... And what's happening there's going to be some dialogue here. Try and do my evil guy voice. We want Wonder Girl, or we're going to kill everyone in this train and kill the mayor. You have to come up here and face us alone yourself. Yeah, that's what he sounds like. Basically, he makes some demands saying, hey, Superhero Girl, we know you're on this train. We got some information. You're going to come up here, or we're going to start killing some people. And they're like kind of on a suicide mission. They're going to ram the train at full force into a giant brick wall that they have set up. No. I don't know I said that. That's just not true at all. It's not what I'd plan at all. What they're going to do is they're going to turn the speed of the train up slowly the longer that she's not there, and then if she doesn't show up, they're just going to ram it into another train that they have set to go in this direction. And there's logistics that has to be worked out there, like why on earth would two trains be on a track facing towards each other, going quickly? How would that ever work? So I have to try and figure something like that out. But I like the idea of it going really, really quickly and going into like a train that stopped or something with passengers on board. I kind of like that idea. So probably gonna do something like that. But either way, point is train go fast, smash, everybody die. And then it has a montage of people's reactions when he's saying this. So you're looking at the people, and what it's supposed to do is establish like a bit of world building, give you a reason to care. Because I don't want to do one of the things where you have background characters set up for the sole purpose of dying. You have that one character that's like the background character that shows in for a couple episodes, and your whole, they pull all the sympathy cards, make you care about them, make you sad, everything they can possibly pull out of their pockets they do to make you care about them as much as possible, and make you care about the main character caring about them just to kill them off to get some sympathy points. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It can be done well, but it usually isn't. That's it. So I'm gonna try and avoid that by making it more surface level. Not every single one of these people. Not you don't know every single one of these people. You don't know their names. You don't know anything about them. But you do know that maybe that I'm gonna do this through their reactions and rule for characterization. Everything a character does is characterization. So how they respond to a situation. If somebody walks up to them and tells them you're going to die in 20 seconds, the way they respond says a lot about who they are as a person. So if I'm going to do my best to pull sympathy cards justified, then I'm going to want to characterize these people as best as I can in that long. I have that long. And also, it can't be distracting. That's the amount of time that I have. 2 seconds, maybe? So, what I'm going to do is do most of it just by how it's drawn, because I don't want to have them move almost at all. I want to just have a still frame for pacing. So I'm probably going to have, like, some people here, maybe one has a baby carriage. You're going, oh, they have children. Maybe one of them is praying, seeing how they react to this situation, going, oh, that person is religious, and they are going to something, or, as opposed to what I have here, which is very much so just looking, oh, no, I'm shocked that I'm about to die. But anyway, going on. Actually, I put this person just kind of casually standing here. I thought it was funny, but that's not staying, don't worry. And this one has even less time. This has a little bit of time. Never mind. I don't know, it's about the same amount of time. And then you get the first shot of superhero girl dressed up as a normal person. I'm gonna have like seats in the background with other people. I don't know, maybe they're on their knees begging God or something. Just over here praying. Like, oh no, I'm so sad. I'm about to die. I just paid off my mortgage, my house. My husband just had his first child. And now I'm gonna die like this. This is so sad. And then this superhero girl. Oh no, I did that in the wrong layer. Yeah, that's not staying. But, basically just the way that the characters are, just gonna show how they react. And then you have this person, and then she looks, and what's her first response? To take action, but conceal her identity in the process, and be secretive, and not help the people. And what does that say about her as a person? How I characterize her in my head is she's naive, very tension-grabbing, doesn't know what's going to happen. She's like fun. She's doing it for the fun of it. Cares about more superficially about people. Like, oh, yeah, I enjoy saving people because people's lives matter, and that's all you really need as a justification. Anything else, but just trying to reflect that in her actions. Like her first response, look at the so look what's happening, and look around, look at people's reactions, and then hide identity and jump off frame. Take quick action without a second thought. while still having the dignity to not conceal or to not expose herself. And I think that fits pretty well. Next up. Yeah, that just I got lazy. As you can see, these aren't individual dots. These are copied and pasted. Shift Alt dragged. Pretty sure these rows even are Shift Alt dragged. Without any sort of thought toward any spacing. The color, brown, is not a color of speakers. That's also not how speakers work. In fact, I probably could have just done that, and that would have been better. But you know what? This is what I did, and you gotta deal with it. Because I don't care. This is just how I did it. In fact, yeah, this is the box that I drew for the thing. And it's not even... okay, well, we can't... Yeah. Oh, that's pretty funny. And then we cut back to this guy, and he finishes up his evil monologue. It's supposed to have dramatic impact. And that's the end of scene 1. So that's the train hijack and the demands. Scene 2, hero busts down the door. First thing to do, characterization. And scene setting? Plot? Whatever, I don't know. First shot, you get this shot of this gun. And I think I'm going to have some sort of effect, orb in the middle, or some sort of glowy thing, or sound effect, or all of them. Just to try and draw attention to it. So you have this gun, and what this can do is it's going to show you that there's a special alien gun, and that's going to be important later. So the audience just has to know that it's there, but, you know, subtly. And then you have this guy. This is big, buff guy. Very, very strong, very, very buff. You see it by his clothing, how they dress up. These are bomb straps. Much like a suicide bomber, showing that they might not try to come back from this. What's their logic behind doing bomb straps? Why would they do this? What's the kind of person that they're facing? Sweat and a very clear face of worry, because that is what that is, and not just a bunch of scribbles. So, yeah, but a face of worry, showing that he's this, it's a bit of contrast. It's this big, barley buff dude, holding this crazy weapon, and they came in so confidently, shot the guy down to steal the, confront this girl, but he's still terrified by the expectation that she's going to burst through the door. It also shows a bit of contrast with how the villain is very cool and expecting it, but the henchmen are terrified. And then but even at terrified, he loads the gun. Showing that he's ready to fight. And then you cut to opposite angle, and you come back to this guy, and he's supposed to be worried, but what I want is for him to be just staring this guy down, examining how he's doing. And I'm trying to establish some sort of connection between these two, but it's not supposed to go anywhere. It's supposed to be superficial because, spoiler alert, they're gonna die, and they're never gonna come up again. It's important, even if it's a one-time character that's never gonna come up again, it's still very important to establish a reason to care about them, or make them fit into the story. And I'm not saying it has to be complex or deep. This isn't complex or deep at all. If you look at Avatar: The Last Airbender, you have, whatever that one guy's name is, Ozai. Yeah, he was not a very complex character. He was not a very deep character. But what he was well written. Very simple motive, understandable with his character, lined up. These guys are disposable characters. They're here once and they're done. But that doesn't mean that they can be lazy or non-characters. They still are important to the story, and how they are in the world grounds it. Because, you know what? Maybe these guys die immediately, but their motivations show something about where they come from. Maybe they're a group of thugs, and it shows something about how it's run. by their clothes, by everything about them. It should ooze characterization, because it matters for world building, and it matters for the audience's investment, usually, in the story. If they, I'm not trying to make these characters sympathetic, and I don't think I've done that at all. As you can see, you have this evil guy, and they all walk in, and they threaten to kill everyone on the freaking train, and they shoot a guy dead. I don't think I've done much to make him very sympathetic. This guy is actually the one that shoots, that's only killed anyone so far. This guy's just kind of sat there and looked worried, but he's big and barley. But it's important, so I'm not making them sympathetic. I'm not making you like them, but it's important to establish a reason for them and a motive, and make the audience invested in them. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And so having a connection between these two, having clear worry on his face. I can have some goggles here. Some very, very clear worry on his face. But he's still armed and ready. And that's about as far, that is as far as I've gotten. And so I'm just going to continue that now. And then, depending on how long it takes, I might do some character drawing later. But I'm going to go to bed at midnight, so it's about, I don't know, 40 more minutes of this hour-long stream. Alright, taking the next shot. Alright. What happens next chronologically? It's a good idea to happen next. You have them looking worried, loading the gun. There's an expectation that's going to happen. Something is about to happen. Next is going to be, if I come back over here and grab get to it, this shot right here of the door. Just Control C, Control V that over here. F5, F7. There we go. Sure, that works. Unpaste it. And this time I'm actually going to center it for the most part. Doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, that works for me. Alright, so this time I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did before. So what I did over here was I had the shot of the door as a bit of a setup of what's going to happen, and then I paid it off. It's very small, but setup of what, expectation, wondering, setting up the door. Paid it off with him kicking the door down. Very small moment, setup, payoff. What I'm doing over here is set up, making a look at the door. I'm going to make it longer this time, but set up, look at the door, what's going to happen. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and then payoff. Bam! She knocks the entire door down. It's going to completely bend. And I think, or I hope at least, I'm pretty sure it's going to do. It's going to do a couple things. First off, it's going to be a bigger setup and payoff. The setup being kicking the door down slightly, payoff being kicking the door down a lot. Very, very, very small, but, the fact that it exists is so important. But what it's also going to do is it's going to be power balancing. The first guy just kicked the door in. She has been set up to be very powerful. This is the first instance you see of it. Way more powerful than these guys. Just completely kicks the door down entirely. Just off its hinges, bends the metal. And actually, there's three guys. The main boss guy, yeah, she's going to knock him right out. The first thing we see of her is banging, hold on, the door off its hinges. If I can, get there. Oh, no, it's not working. Banging the door off its hinges entirely. I'm gonna put a little dent in it for her fist. Completely. That's a very big guy. Completely and entirely just knocking this guy out cold. He's donezo. He is passed out on the ground. He is not gonna have a good day. And then she's gonna completely just take down these guys entirely. It's showing her as really powerful, and really setting her above the others. What's gonna happen after, and slight spoilers, but what's gonna happen after that is the thing that's gonna do her in. That's why it's important to have this specific weapon here. Is this alien tech, and it's not gonna stop her or anything. It's just gonna slow her down enough that the guy can, I don't know, lock the controls or something, or break them, and she can't do anything, and train crashes. But we'll get to that when you get to that, and there's gonna be character payoffs, and I'll get to that. But for now, we have this shot. I think that should be around the right time. Bam! Alright, so not quite. And bam! Wasn't far off. That's fine. Alright, I also have this new directions layer for all the directions that I'm going to give myself, such as the door getting wider, not the door itself, but the shot. I'm going to do that with a classic tween. Do I have right click enabled right now? I don't. I have show cursor for some reason. I don't know what that is. I'll use my mouse. Create classic tween. Okay, you can be a symbol. I don't mind. Alright, I'm going to assume that everyone knows what a tween is, but I'm going to say it just in case. I don't know what's happening. I'm on the wrong layer. That's what's happening. Alright, just being a tween. Why are you doing this? Alright, I'll go over here then. Is that what you want? I think that's what you wanted. Yeah, that's what you wanted. Alright, so what a tween does is... Move that back one. Does that work? Yeah, it works. What a tween does is, it's basically a mathematical program. It takes ball number 1 on frame number 1, and ball number 2 on frame number 10. So frame 1, frame 10. And then it perfectly, in even increments, just takes the symbol itself. It has to be a symbol, and it copies it, and all the way to frame 10 in even perfect increments. Just copies it over every single time. And that is what a tween is. And so I've just used that. And I'm not going to do it like that for the actual thing, obviously. Not obviously, but what I'm going to do instead is the camera. And that's going to be much easier for moving things around. But I don't want to use the camera right now, because I'm lazy, I guess. I don't know. So just get rid of it and stick to my classic tweens. Much more simple, but also much harder. So, also quite quick sidetrack. I'm not a fan of the zoom function in Windows Adobe programs minus Photoshop because it's the good ones on there. Because zoom, you click Z, and then you drag the area selection you want to select, and then it fills that accordingly. But to zoom out, you have to hold down Alt and click. And that'd be fine. You know, I mean, it's not great. The other one is better, but it works. If not for the fact that if you look up here, if you click Alt, see that line that appears under the first letter? Well, let's say I click T. Oh, did not do it? No, it did do it. Alright, if I click Alt and then click F, open up files, click Alt and then E, opens up the edit menu. So if I were to say zoom out, switch to the, I don't know, what's the one? The eyedropper tool. It would open up the insert menu. And then it would do the eyedropper tool. It's just really disorienting. Oh, there we go. V, that's one I use a lot. Switches to view. Just slightly annoying. We have not gone far at all. We haven't done anything. Alrighty. Door zooms out. And then, it's supposed to be a different, completely different frame. I think what I want to happen, I was trying to onion skin for this, is to just have the door completely, absolutely, okay, smashed into the camera, and then turn around and see a shot of it getting, from the side probably, of it getting hit into the guy. And he's sad. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. So, how to do that? You have the door zoom in, and then I think I just do it like that, where it bends really quickly. That's going to be a lot bigger since it's closer to the camera. Add that just so I know it's a circle. And then direction lines are going to be super helpful for this. So it's going to come out really quickly. I think I'm going to have to, I'm definitely going to have some sort of motion lines probably in the edges here. But, I don't know, I feel like that might be too quick. So I'm definitely going to have one of it just, because this door is going to be color, and so what it's going to do is it's, this frame is the color of the door. There we go. That frame is the color of the door. And then you have Noyan skin. You have train car. I'm just gonna go back and grab the original one from the first section. There we go. That's not a tween, right? Alright, good. Hey, look at that. And then we can just get rid of this guy. Oh, also, since I started doing this, I've slightly changed how I want to do it. You might have noticed, right at the beginning over here, with all the people and all that. everybody's head is just a circle. I did this for time reasons, but I've decided it's probably more beneficial to add some sort of detail. So I have the circle and then the head. That's probably a bit too detailed, but it doesn't look great either, so there we go, like that. Nice and simple, but not, like, dumb. I don't know. I know what I'm trying to say. Anyway. Restored. Beautiful. Mint condition. So now, because this was so sudden, in fact, I think I'm gonna have that be slightly longer. That be slightly longer. Yeah, okay, that's still plenty of time. I'm gonna have basically a classic ball bounce. And to do this, I'm changing this color to green, which is right now my background color for this section because I changed my mind. Alrighty. I should do this in different layers, but I'm not because I don't care enough. Alright, so you have main character, evil guy, or whatnot. Not gonna try to make this look pretty at all. Dang it, I'm making it look pretty. No, stop it. Stop it. There, okay, whatever. No, stop. And he's like, I think he's gonna be aiming a gun. I like my shotguns, it's fun to draw. He's gonna be aiming a gun. So have them holding it. That's the shoulder, and there's the rest of the arm, holding the shotgun. And it's not even close to his eye, but whatever. I don't care enough for this. I don't get paid enough. No, in reality, that's just not the point of this. Let's see, what should his legs be in? I like the idea of him leaning forward a little bit. Well, he's leaning back right now, so I like the idea of him, you know, having a bit of a aggressive stance. Like that. She was doing good for a little, and now back to poor quality. Apologies for that. Oh, that works. And then, there we go. And there's his other arm. And so he's here, and then you have, I'll do this in a different layer, just to make it easier. Ball bounce. It's not a ball bounce, but it's the same idea. Here. F5, F6. Oh, that can be F7. Basically, blank frame or copy previous frame, and I'm gonna here. Alright, so now I'll add a little bit of detail now. I can't wait till I can actually, like, draw good when I'm doing this, and I don't have to rush through this. But I want to actually get to that portion and not hang on this for longer than I need to. So I'm going to rush through this portion a little bit. I'm not going to rush through it, but I'm going to, like, not make everything look pretty, or try to. So this is clearly a lot slower than before. Alright, and now I'm going to get to this area. So he had a couple moments where he was like, "Oh, I like that." Then I'm gonna have him retract his gun a little bit and change up his stance. So he's gonna bring back his leg a little. Gun's gonna come back a little in reaction. He's a bit more vertical, arms further down. I think I can move his head back just a little bit. So how does that look? Yeah, I'm okay with that. And then he's had his moment of realization, and then he's gonna like. And this is important. How does he react if a giant door is flowing at him? What does it say about his character and what he thinks? I think that he has his mind so set on his goal that he's gonna. Oh, I don't know. He doesn't show too much. He just dodge it. So he's gonna. So it's like it's a simple question, but it's a question of would he dodge it, or would he try and block it, or would he protect himself? Because I don't like the idea of him protecting himself because that's more cowardice. So I think he's gonna try and escape, but he's not. He's not even gonna get close to a chance. So I think he tries to run for it a little bit. So, but obviously he's too slow. This is going so fast, and that might have been a bit too harsh. Yeah, it was a bit too harsh, but I'm gonna move the door to compensate. I'm gonna try to minimize the movement now. By harsh, I mean the movement happened very quickly. Like the jump from here to here is pretty dramatic for 1/24th of a second. And now he's shifted his weight to the other leg, which I like. But here, let's just move that way over there. There we go. And while we're at it, let's change it to green. That green. No? I'll do red. It's the same for all of them. Oh, red's my movement color. I need a better color. I'll do light green. Why not? We're not at colors here. So now it has completely hit him. Completely and entirely. And it doesn't matter what this frame shows for him, so I'm gonna go and I'm still gonna drop behind him. So let's see how that looks in a second. Let me just. Oh, that is not the right color. I can just like draw his hand out here. I'm still gonna draw him, but there's his gun. I suppose he's still holding onto his gun. That makes sense to me. Making sure that he has it even when he's literally could die. I'll just make it longer. See how it looks. I went back too far. So, gun. Bam. I can make it longer. Alright, how does that look? I like that. I like that. And I think that has to sort of hang there for a little, so bam! And then splash. No, it can't have time to breathe. Shift, F5. And now is when it's going to get interesting since I'm going to have a fight scene now, and I've never done that before. It's going to be fun. So, bam, it hits them. And then, now that that's hit him, we can get the actual fighting. And again, very, very short. This is what, 5 seconds? This is 22. So, yeah, this might in total be like a minute and a half long. But it's going to take quite a while. And that's about 50 minutes. It's 52 minutes. 8 minutes away from an hour. And I have to use the bathroom. So, I'm going to call it quits there. We got a lot done today, you know? It's very, very, very lot thing, you know? Lot of work. Lot of work done. Very, very productive. I'll stream tomorrow. Finish a lot more of this. But that's about it for now. Thanks for sticking. Bye.